March 9, 2019 by paulmbanks. It won't be official until tomorrow, but Purdue junior combo guard Carsen Edwards, 23.4 ppg entering the regular season finale, will win the Big Ten scoring title. It will make him the third Boilermaker in the last 9 years to lead the Big Ten in scoring, JaJuan Johnson in 2011, 20.7, and Caleb Swanigan in 2017, 18.9. No other Big Ten team has had more than one league scoring champ during that span. It's an impressive achievement for Edwards, who already has an AP All-American third-team plaudit and the Jerry West Award Nation's Best Shooting Guard from last season on his resume. Follows are exclusive with Carsen Edwards, in which you can also hear Jess Settles of BTN just barge his way in on for some are really bizarre and less than professional reason. Because of Settles, we had to break the interview up into 2 files. Is it enough for him to make the jump to the NBA this season? The Houston, Texas native worked out at the NBA Combine last season, but didn't hire an agent and thus retained his collegiate ability. Back at preseason media day, we asked Purdue head coach Matt Painter what Carsen needs to do to balance contributing to the team versus acting in his own individual self-interest, and how the two priorities fuse. We all get judged on winning, Painter answered. Sometimes those guys come back. I got to do X, Y, and Z to be successful. But the NBA, they want winners, and they want role players. None of the guys that we've had, and quite frankly, nobody has really had guys that just leave major college basketball and go be a starter in the NBA. You've got to be able to adjust to an organization. You have to be able to play a role. I think with that winning, doing little things and winning, it's exactly the kind of answer that you would predict the coach to give, but he is totally spot on. Purdue has put some guys in the league lately, but they haven't been lottery pick alpha dog blue chip kind of players. Here's where it stands now. The Carsen Edwards NBA draft stock price, approximately, and of course take this with a grain of salt. No, take it with an entire truckload of salt. ESPN has him 48th overall on their best available list. Tankathon has him going 46th overall to Orlando in their NBA mock draft. Draft Site does not have him in their mock draft, but they do have 3 Duke players, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett and Cameron Reddish going 1, 2, 3 overall. Basketball Insiders also don't have Edwards listed in their mock, and they have that Blue Devils trio comprising 3 of the first 4. Finally, NBADraft.net has Carsen Edwards slotted 42nd overall to the Atlanta Hawks. They have the blue chip Blue Devil troika going the top 5 by the way. His first year, he was a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio guy. Last year he was 1.6, 1.7, 1. Being a 2-to-1 guy is huge, Painter continued. He has shot some really good numbers last year in terms of his field goal percentage. I think those can improve. If you look at them, they're pretty sticky numbers, but I really do. He's that good of a shooter. Unfortunately for Edwards and Painter, the opposite has happened. It's been a statistical regression for the entering the season finale at Northwestern. Edwards had 95 turnovers to 89 assists, while his FG% and 3PT% had also dropped substantially. From last season to this season, Edwards has seen his FG% drop from .458 to .392 and his 3-point percentage drop from .406 to .302. If he does decide to forego his final year of eligibility and enter the draft again, there is of course another way to impress NBA scouts and GMs, beyond his statistical production. I think you're going to be yourself in terms of when people evaluate you, Painter said. They like to see something a little bit different. Painter added, I think you grow into that as you push past college. I think more than anything, just improving his assist-turnover ratio, continue to do what he's doing, but now lead us to victory instead of just being that guy who scored the basketball to help us. As we've had 4 seniors, I think that piece of it will really help him as he grows into a pro. Paul M. Banks runs the sportsbank.net, which is partnered with News Now. Banks, a former writer for NBCChicago.com and ChicagoTribune.com, regularly appears as a guest pundit on WGNCL-TV and co-hosts the Let's Get Weird Sports podcast on SB Nation. He also contributes socio-political essays to Chicago Now. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram. The content of his cat's Instagram account is unquestionably superior to his. Powered by Sidelines. Follow Palm Banks.